I'll bring the meeting to order. First up, modifications and changes. Anything to add?
Yeah, we're gonna add the Harvest Fest park application that just came in yesterday. I need to get it in because it'd be only a couple days before the next meeting.
Tisk tisk, Shauna.
So this is
It's not Shauna.
Kim Araldi.
Oh, okay.
And this would be the first one with our new form, so.
Okay. Yeah, we can squeeze that in. We'll do that,
3.5?
sure.
Get it right out of the way.
Sure. Public comment. Nobody here from the public, nobody on Zoom. We'll get that out of the way.
Not yet.
I got a call saying somebody was going to be, so, and I told her 6:35.
We can take it up another business. Review and approval for minutes of August 8th. If everything looked good, and there was no errors or anything left out, I will hear a motion to accept them.
Approved.
Leonard with the first, there's a second.
Right.
Eli with the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, 3.5, we have a parks use permit.
So that's for the Harvest Fest. Go and keep that on there. I mean, it's,
I go with it.
we'll read through it. The only thing that, if you look here, it says maybe. If you look at, right there, Maple Park, they she checked Lincoln Park and Maple Park. The reason they checked Maple Park was they're trying to get, I guess they're trying to keep people in the village and around for the day, and they're trying to find some other things to do. So they're not sure if they'll be able to pull it off, but they thought about having like some antique tractors park over there.
Okay.
I'd love to see something on that
That'd
part.
They've been trying to get an answer from those people all summer long.
And it's not far of a walk.
I have no idea who they are.
Should reach out to Sam's grandpa.
Some will.
I'm sure I could come up with a bunch of tractors.
So,
Like an old
I just
2M
told
right over.
her, with the way the weather's been, it shouldn't be a problem, but if we get some rain beforehand, so she's gonna ask. We'd like people to walk through and go see the other park. If it's really wet, she's asking the principal if they can park in that parking lot where the rides usually go.
That's where they make the vendors park. Never mind, I'm not on the committee this year. It's okay.
Yeah, or somewhere over there, I don't know. But that's the last second I told her, I said, well, depending on the weather, if it's really wet, I won't watch it on there, but other than that, it should be fine.
Looks like they're putting in 2 portalets.
Yep.
And tents and canopies.
And on their application for the vendors.
Come on in.
Come in. It states very strongly that the canopies have to be tied down, very securely.
Yeah.
All that jazz.
And then the bandstand, it looks like we've got a meter. Meter spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody want to do it?
I'm all set.
So yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. If there are no questions on either of those, I'll hear a motion to accept both the parks use and the bandstand permit. Waive the fee.
Move.
Recuse?
Okay. Move. Second.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do I need to recuse? Okay.
I think so.
You said you were
So
on
we
the
don't have a
committee.
quorum anyway.
Okay, I heard Eli with the first, their second. Leonard with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay.
And John, will you let them know, rather than them just guessing, whether or not there's been too much rain and they shouldn't be on the park?
Yeah, I told me, if I have Ken or Gary go take a look at it.
479 West Berkshire Road, request for a curb cut. So what do we got here?
So the Jacksons are just looking for a curb cut, and they're gonna put a little bit of a driveway that loops back up and around their property so they can get to the backside of their property with a tractor and so forth. I'm guessing they can't from their house, so that's what they're looking to do.
Gary seems to think it's okay.
Gary didn't have an issue with it, no, he didn't.
And obviously he studied it more than we have.
Being also a state road, there's no additional state requirements.
It's in the village. And the address actually isn't, I don't think 479 is the actual. No, I think that was right. Okay.
Northern property line, so that'd be like right where we have that sign, that welcome to Enosburg sign. Right?
I would
Be
say.
close to there, yeah.
It is wet right there. Yeah,
And they state the other, you putting a culvert in and so forth.
okay, yeah. Yep. I don't see an issue with that.
I move we accept.
Second.
Sandy with the first, Eli with the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, nay. Also unanimous. Okay, update on bicycle and pedestrian program grant and
We'll come back to you.
Vital Village grant.
So just the heads up, we did not receive it this year, just got word. So this is the AKA Vital Village grant that we would be looking to fund the renovations of Main Street. A little bit of a bummer, but not a huge setback. I put in here a slide that I had done back in the spring, right before the grant. Our timeline, if we were to get it this summer, and our timeline worked out, I had it worked out perfectly. For the timeline that this needed to be completed, or we needed to start the project, would have been very close. I mean, so going out another year is not gonna really kill us, to go back at it.
Okay. I think we pretty much knew with the size of this project, it wasn't gonna be an immediate thing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for what we have to do for infrastructure and so forth, it's gonna take a little bit, so. We were pushing the time limit anyway, if we did get it this year. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up on that. We are gonna apply again next year.
This might be a good time to bring up, I know it's not included in the original project, but burying power lines on Main Street. I know I keep bringing this up, but
I'll help
ugly as a,
I will help you.
and if we're gonna be ripping up Main Street,
Yeah. Why leave it ugly in the end when
Exactly.
we've already torn it all up?
right, so now would be the time to be looking into that. I know we had it in the preliminary budget at one point last year, but that didn't make sense tax-wise. I don't know if there's anything we can,
Okay, we're gonna be starting budget soon, so we can put that back on the capital project list and discuss that for the light department.
yeah, at least engineering, just to see how feasible, how easy it would be, and then, cause I would like to wrap that into Vital Village, if we could.
I think it would be a very important piece.
Yeah.
And I think it would be, it would be incredibly lacking to see it all done and then to see that still there.
Yeah, or I've seen also some communities, I think it's like Brandon, they move most of their main power off Main Street. So they still have all the wires and stuff, but the houses are basically getting power from a back street somewhere, just get it off Main Street. So,
And get some decent poles,
yeah,
some actual light fixtures.
right, like light poles.
Yeah, like actual light fixtures,
Yeah.
not telephone poles with a bulb.
Yep. I think that
We
would,
turn those all LED.
Still a bulb.
we can move them, we can move them somewhere else. But
Yeah, the
yeah,
park is very dark, we can use it.
so yeah, I don't know if the board agrees, but I think we should ask
Worth looking at.
about that. Because I don't want to get into the engineering phase and then throw a wrench into it, because I know that would probably add a lot.
I mean, this will definitely give us a little bit more time to explore some other ideas, for sure.
Probably gonna be your most expensive part of doing all of Vital Village. Be burying the lines.
Also be the best looking part.
Yeah, I would.
No, I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, I'm just saying it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
the most
expensive.
expensive part of Vital Village if we
You get what you
look
pay
at it.
Even if we didn't do anything, we just buried the power lines, it would make it look 10 times better.
100 times better.
Especially being up at top of Main Street and like looking down through the wires
gross.
because they're at the same height.
Uh-oh,
No, not good.
The,
why? Did it just do that? Oh, well, you're really gonna get that 6-month budget review.
What about cable and telephone? We had talked about this before and they said that they wouldn't go along with that.
I don't know if they
I
said
don't
that.
think we ever
but-
reached out to them. We said there was a possibility that they might not.
Yeah,
That they might not.
Right.
I don't
But
know.
I can't imagine why they would object only thinking back I don't know how many years now. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 of the memorial trees that are gone on the east side of Main Street because the telephone company made me cut them down.
And I don't have an answer for Consolidated, but I did talk to Comcast, and they are, it'd just be a forced relocate for them, so they would have to go along.
Because they own a certain section of the pole, right?
Consolidated does.
Lease it.
Yeah, Comcast is just.
cut it.
Well, they're, Consolidated is in so much trouble right now that by the time we get around to doing this, it might not matter.
Yeah,
So
so,
financial trouble?
Yeah, they're in some deep doo-doo.
I'd like to know why my bill went up $15 for no reason or explanation.
on that, kind of a side note, similar.
Can you get back in here?
The big maple tree on the corner, they are gonna have to hack away at that a little bit.
No, okay, which
Which
maple
one?
tree, which corner?
The one right on the corner of Missisquoi and Main.
Missisquoi and Maine,
Yeah,
on the
it's
on
pretty-
the park,
Yeah, on the park.
not the Masons lawn. No, those
No.
are like spruce trees or something.
No, they've already cut those down.
Okay. We cut one down.
No, you dug up the little ones too.
I didn't. Oh,
So the top of the maples, I mean,
cedars?
there's only one section they're gonna definitely have to take, cause it's rotten, and it will
Well,
take out,
can't have it on somebody's head.
yeah.
Just imagine if the lines were underground, you'd never be able to hit them.
I mean, I don't know if they'll go for it, there is a lot of resiliency type grants out there. I mean, we can at some point start applying for those, to get a little closer to this project.
Mhm.
I mean, they
Absolutely.
They want stuff to go underground, so
Go
it's
for it.
not, you know,
That's what I was just looking at this. Underground damage prevention.
yeah.
I got it. Yeah, okay. Anything else with Vital Village? We will move on to 6-month budget review if Abby is,
Should we do our
Ready.
public comment? That was at
I
6:35.
do public first and then we'll.
yeah, we can do that.
I think that's, we have a guest for
Yeah,
public
you wanna-
comment.
What's up?
Traffic calming,
Mm-hmm.
fireworks going off at random hours in the municipal lot, Opera House. And such ungodly noise. I don't wanna call the police because I just think they have enough to do, and my understanding is that you're already addressing traffic calming on Depot Street. But I'm not sure, in the year that I've been here on Depot Street, I've never heard fireworks going off at random hours, literally all hours.
Yeah, all night long.
Coming from the Opera House parking lot?
Yeah, and I've got it handled if you want my solution. No.
Well, we'll entertain it, but it's actually, that parking lot belongs to the town.
Right, where did I say? Municipal.
Yeah, but
There's
it's
a-
an hours, it does belong to the town, but we're still interested
Yeah,
in what
we're
you have to
interested in
say.
hearing your solution, but
My solution is get a bucket loader and a bunch of big rocks and surround them and dump the rocks and move police in and arrest them. That's my solution. I mean, it's really.
That's kinder than mine.
So I know,
It's really hard. It's hard to explain to my cat, for instance, who goes off and bounces off walls for the rest of the night when he hears that. We're close. I mean, I'm at the Quincy and it's just a house between my windows and the parking lot.
And all of the guests' windows.
Right. And it starts late. If it started at 7:30 or at dusk, maybe there'd be room for it, but I don't think so. It's so rude. It's beyond rude. It's beyond, it's unconscionable in my view. So close to the town area, and I don't know who else is right close by. I don't know if elders. I just know that dogs,
You
Me.
veterans, and elderly people don't go for fireworks like that. So loud. They're not sparklers, they're full-fledged fireworks. And my understanding is that those are not legal. Is that accurate on my part?
I can't
Fireworks
speak
are
on
illegal
that,
in
no.
Vermont.
I don't know.
Oh, So it is true.
Sparklers are okay, fireworks are illegal.
I mean, really, it's the same crowd, you know, and
They
pretty
just
soon
kill each
I
other.
have a list of license plates for you, I think, but they're all black cars with black rims and sometimes no visible registration or plates. Sometimes they're taped up registrations that are peeling off the back windows. I know the cars, but I don't wanna get too close. I really don't. I don't wanna be seen as the person who's, you know, turning in license plates. That hasn't always worked well for me, not in this town, but, you know, I'm gonna just tell you, I've got a rat with its throat cut put on my steps for talking to the police about traffic calming in another town I lived in. That
Well,
was pretty traumatizing for me,
I bet.
thinking I was doing the right thing, you know?
So the advice that we got from law enforcement about rowdiness and traffic would be take the plate number down and call.
What if there's really, seriously, no plate evident? I mean,
Vehicle
I see these guys
description.
are up and down
Yeah.
that street, around, now there's a new traffic pattern where it starts at the corner by the Legion, and it goes down, it takes a right, and then another right, and then another right. And it feels to me so intentional and well organized, as though it's, you know, that it's people really know when they're driving people crazy and doing it anyway. I don't believe I'm the only one being driven crazy by it.
You're not. No.
You're not,
Okay, thank you, because,
So I was
There's
hoping,
that.
I was hoping to catch up with someone from the
I
town
stand
today.
there, I wonder what swear.
somebody
Uh,
felt, I'm sorry.
The town, my understanding is they're gonna be putting Jersey barriers not across the entryway, but kind of staggered in there.
Okay,
So there could be some parking. I haven't heard the exact pattern or how it's gonna look, but my understanding is they're gonna put some in there, which will then allow for some parking, but not access to the back of the parking lot.
yeah,
So it
that's,
might be just like the first row or two. So I've heard that. They also did, that's one thing I talked about, they took down the parking signs. So it's not, I guess, I think it's not technically a parking lot anymore.
it starts early, doesn't wait till midnight. Starts, 12 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. It's really quite interesting from my perspective. It's both interesting and terribly troubling. Because it feels qualitatively like there's an attitude that they don't care what anyone thinks.
I can't believe the Opera House hasn't had some broken windows yet,
I
with the
can't
stones that
either.
fly.
Mhm.
I can't really, Sandy, I can't either. But it's really hard to come in here and like lay this stuff out.
And I did also send an email to the sheriff, asking him to keep that, because again, I mean, not just that, but even, I guess, broad daylight at 5 o'clock, they've been doing donuts and so forth at the park and ride. So I noted these couple of areas around town and did send it off to the sheriff, so when they're patrolling, they don't have to be patrolling at midnight, like you said, it could be 6 o'clock at night, and
Which sheriff does, do we speak with a particular sheriff, or is there one in particular who works with Enosburg Falls?
As far as a deputy or patrolman?
Yeah, I mean,
no, there's.
We get,
Yeah, and
okay, because
They-
Richford is very focused and has one sheriff kind of looking at things, and, or deputy, I should say. And I just want to know in terms of, you know, if I get to my limit, I don't want to call the state police. I think we already know how they feel about things, right? And I don't know whether I should not be concerned about not having license plates, because it really, am I the only one noticing vehicles, black windshields, dark tires, no plates? Because there are 4 separate vehicles. They all fit the same basic description.
Mhm.
And one of these days, I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna be so polite. I just hope that there are no repercussions if I do. But the worst fear I have is that a pedestrian or someone on a bike is gonna get hit. And, or somebody coming out of the vet's office, or people who don't expect there to be out of control drivers on that stretch of road. So, anyway.
If I had some advice, I'd say take the plate numbers, and if it does get to the point, then you
But
can
there-
call.
You heard me say,
If you
no
can't-
plates,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, or a vehicle
If you
description.
happen to see some.
And I don't wanna make you feel like you're not heard, but the town is the one that needs to hear this the
Right.
most, because they own the land and they also deal with the law enforcement contract. So I hate to kick you around, but the town meets first and third Monday of the month, and then also the town clerk's office is open
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. And they would be the ones that would have some oversight over
And you can go to their meetings, just like you
Sure.
can come to ours.
both of those problems, yeah.
Well, I know you all have an overarching responsibility to look at and hear things, so that's why I'm here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thanks.
I'm glad you're paying attention.
How could I?
How could we
not?
know?
Truly, how could I not?
I've noticed that it looks like it definitely stretches into that blue hour when there's nobody working.
Yeah.
And they know it.
What is the blue hour? What?
Well, I know that at 4, from 4 to, or from 3 to 6, 4 to 6, nobody works. And they know it because they're in there at that time. The other morning,
No, that's
it
Friday.
was 4:30.
Friday and Saturday of last week, according to the schedule I got, they should have been somebody on.
This doesn't have to be just weekends
Yeah,
anymore,
I
I've
know, I'm just
noticed.
saying, but they did have a second shift.
You're saying AM or PM?
PM. Well, no, AM.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
AM,
My goodness.
when the policemen are sleeping.
Right.
Well, I thank you all for what
What I see from my house, about 6:30 to 8, they like keep going right around like it's a racetrack. Down my street, down Main Street by the Catholic Church and up, and it's like it's a racetrack.
Probably the same bunch.
I'm sure it is. I would bet on. What street do you live on, may I ask?
I live right on 105, up
105.
by the chainsaw.
You live on Elm Street.
I live off Elm Street, okay. 105 Elm Street.
Yeah, it's, I think the patterns are what are important to the town and, or would be, or to law enforcement. Because it's easier to detect patterns than just about anything else, I think. And I'm happy to do it, I just wish I could get a plate, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But you have to be pretty swift, and I'm not.
Well, maybe you'll be lucky and one of them will stop out in front of the hotel.
Okay.
They won't come
Thank
for
you
dinner
very
because
much.
they can't read a menu.
Sandra.
Gotta be able to read first.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Judith.
Okay, 6-month budget review.
All right, it should be pretty short next week.
Thank you.
Keep it up and I will drag this out extra long.
I'm all set.
Nothing overall, nothing really jumps out alarming. Everybody is on track. Property taxes are next up, so I'm not gonna dive into that. Right now, just projects that we have going on are the engineering and the Elm Street sidewalks, the Main Street Dickinson Avenue crosswalk. I think you all probably have seen the demo
Yep.
has been
Yep.
done.
Stepped around it this morning.
Believe this week, Ryan,
Tomorrow.
yeah, should be
Tomorrow
starting that.
tomorrow.
And then the Pearl Street sidewalk, Gary and I are gonna be working on the RFP for the engineering next week.
That's the one that goes to the parking ride?
Yes. So construction,
Straight from church to the parking ride, doesn't stop at the armory?
oh, the
Why should
sidewalk's
it? There's
gonna
nothing
run,
there.
Go across the
it's gonna go across. It's gonna run,
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because I know there was talk of just to the armory or the armory to the thing. It's all-
no, we're gonna
Thank you.
connect right to Park and Ride, hoping that that can help maybe be another parking spot for people to walk into the village when there's an event going on. But the construction most likely won't be until next year for that,
Yeah.
but
There's
not a rush
No.
at this point.
there was a
No,
rush
doesn't
3
look
years
that
ago.
way.
So, again, this is just kind of the recap that I usually give you. Expenses are, at 43%. This is through the end of June. Utilities, insurance, equipment, vehicle, and parks and recreation are trending kind of high.
Insurance is at 50%?
Well, we're at 52%
No, that's how-
over 100% of the budget.
Oh,
So much they use.
Which a lot of this is just timing. There's nothing super alarming that's going on. Little more work with the parks and stuff, so some of our means of parks and labor is a little bit higher, but nothing scary, drastic at this point in time. I know when you're done reading, I don't want to move past.
I have to
When,
read this
when
because
do
I
we
can't
shop
see the
it?
bar
When do we shop insurance?
I'm starting that in the next
Good.
couple weeks. Leagues of Cities in town told me not to talk to them before September because they were so busy with people switching to them. But especially
they offer
after,
insurance?
huh?
Leagues of cities and towns offer insurance?
Yeah, yep. We could do everything with them potentially.
That would be cool.
It doesn't sound like just us. I go to a luncheon meeting thing with some other folks from all different, like Kathy Benoit, who works for Notch, and it's been a struggle with insurances. And then A, expense, and B, just getting dropped out of the blue.
We are, full disclosure, run the risk of not getting renewed for some for next year. We've had a lot of claims as of late, and we were already teetering with our workers' comp, so we may be
Which
in
our
that.
workers' comp this year is good, but
But we
Spend
still
a lot of
have,
natural-
but we still have big claims on
Yeah.
our account. They had to sweet talk them into renewing us last year, so hopefully all stays well there. Water department is in really good shape. Revenues are just barely behind, so I'm not really worried about that. We did have a lightning strike that took out the pro control in the chlorinator building again. We also, same lightning strike, appeared, or another one took out the VFD. We just had to have that replaced, so you'll see that coming up in the August. So we've had a couple issues up there, but even
Add, like,
Mother
a
Nature.
lightning rod or something?
Hmm?
We need to add like a lightning rod or something?
well, we regrounded, yes.
Yeah, there was, yeah. I just lost my total train of thought. But so even with some of these extra expenses, they're on track. The only thing that we are gonna have to keep an eye on is the lead inventory project that we're doing, the labor. Our guys are gonna be doing a lot of legwork on that. We didn't have that information at budget time, so we didn't budget anything extra. But wages and benefits are only at 42%, so we do have a little bit of leeway there, but that is something I'm tracking, where we may end up running over on that line item, but we may not another, so the overall budget, I don't think it's gonna be a huge issue. Wastewater revenue's a little bit behind, not too worried about it, it's close enough that it shouldn't be an issue. Again, nothing drastic, they're pretty much right on, expenses are at 43%, so no concerns there. Brian's really good at keeping a close eye on his budget, so.
Awesome.
We just got a reduction because of the sludge. We went to a different sludge hauler.
Yep, we're not going with Dromac anymore to hauler sludge. Brian talked to Monash, and they are going to be doing it, so it's going to be cheaper, and it's gonna actually be metered and not just a guesstimate. So we'll actually be paying for what they're pulling off and not,
Oh, we had Hardigan.
no, we haven't had Hardigan as long as I've been here. It's been
They
Dromac for
clean
quite a
out
long time.
the storm drains.
Monash cleans out the storm drains.
I thought that was a Hardy.
I was gonna say, I could have
No.
swore I saw Hardigan. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Monash does all of our stuff.
By gosh.
Yeah. Electric department, budget-wise, is looking pretty good. We do have some big ticket items we're gonna have to be discussing come budget time and sooner rather than later for some work around the hydros, dredging, flipping the trash racks. Trucks are still on hot topic that we need to kind of come up with a game plan.
I think the Chevy's done, isn't it?
Damn near.
Pretty close.
I think they
Looks
said
good.
getting it tomorrow, maybe, is what Alan said to me this morning. So,
The last
and
picture
then-
I got was put together outside.
and then the Tacoma is going up to Duluth's soon to get repaired from some damage there, and then 105 is having some issues again.
The
So.
rain.
So again, cash flow is still tight, but we're able to get by, no issues. I haven't had too many panic attacks about all of that, so we're doing pretty good. And the budgets are flowing good, so I think we're going to be able to skate through the rate case hopefully November. We have to respond to the second round of discovery Friday, which VEPSA, we've got everything off to VEPSA and they're pulling it together, so.
Of course, we had a good water year, so our hydrants definitely been
Certainly have to.
full of water.
It's
all
dry
summer.
out there, you're getting dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually is interesting. The second question was about with the Kendall being down, and so I've been doing a lot of research into that and how long that's been down. So that's nice that we, since last July, that's maybe a dozen days, if that, it's been down. So that's stayed operational.
Most of the time for high water.
Yeah, I think we had one mechanical issue. They had to pull it out to change a hydraulic leak, but overall, the Kendall's been running, and we've kind of changed how we operate a little bit, and the village has been running very consistent. Our numbers are looking very good compared to previous years. So
Good.
I think through the end of May, we were at double production compared to where we were through the end of May last year. So,
Nice.
Awesome. That's good.
yeah, definitely. And look at that. Short and sweet.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Well,
Take back all the things
I
you
believe
said
you're
about me.
still up though.
Hey, don't blame me. So I finally got the grand list.
how's that
Yay.
looking?
It went up about, well, what I think I put in here, 16,873. So that helped.
That's what I said.
They're gonna be more than that. Well, they're not done appraising, right?
That's.
I don't believe they've done reappraisals. So
They haven't reappraised.
they haven't
it, so.
reappraised. They haven't done like a town village-wide reappraisal yet.
Okay.
I don't know when.
Hotel's
that is.
done.
They may have, if the hotel had work, any permits put in this year. That's probably what they did.
Yeah, I got a letter from my porch on.
And it was, of course, it was difficult because the not so young gentleman who actually trained Kermit Blaisdell was
Placed
taking Kermit's
wrong
place at the end because Kermit was too sick to work, so, and he's of course passed away now.
Yeah, it was kind of a mess for the town.
Is he related to Willard?
Jesse and Billy Joe had to do
Is he
a
related to
bulk
Willard?
of the work. That's
Yes,
why we
little
were
son.
late.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So we could expect that grand list to go up again next year, though.
I don't believe
If
it.
they
I
do all the research.
don't maybe, not a lot, but maybe. I don't foresee that the reappraisals, it's gonna cost thousands, like 6 figures to do the whole reappraisal, and I don't know, last I heard, most towns are 4 to 5 years out because appraisers are so backed up right now. Like almost everybody statewide needs appraisals right now.
And there's so few of them.
What about Tractor Supply?
I don't know enough about how that works, but I know it depends on the timing of when it was done, if it's gonna have a huge impact, so
Oh,
there's
if
a
it opened this
potential,
year, if it opened last
or
year.
if it's gonna be
We're open in
next.
22.
Right, it was like November, December.
They were.
so
It
it was-
was. Yeah.
So-
They had.
I can
You could pick
what-
up your Christmas presents.
I can dig to see if it's the commercial, that's what drove it up or not. I think I looked and there wasn't a huge change in it from the commercial numbers from year to year, so.
I don't know if they took advantage. Wasn't there like a tax? What do they call that? Like tax freeze if you move a business in.
Yeah, they must have gotten it.
There's,
The only taxing on the value of what you purchased the lot for.
And
was
it's usually
5 years.
first 5 years.
Yeah.
yeah, so we may not see that benefit, but it went up more than I expected it was gonna go up. So at this point, even with a higher grand list, I am proposing that we keep the rate what we budgeted, the 0.7533. That keeps it at a 19.14 increase over last year, which was approved at town meeting. And that will generate a little bit extra revenue to try to close the deficit. Because we did budget for almost a $5,000 deficit, but right now we're trending to be closer to 15 because of a few things, unexpected repairs. Could be closer to 0. I'm hoping if we do this, we're gonna break even. So my recommendation at this point is to keep the rate what we said, even with a higher grand list. It's about, I don't know, $15,000 more in revenue, so it's closes the gap on the deficit.
Mhm.
So, and right now, My goal is to have them out by September 8th with the timing of billing because Psyche helps get them out. And I have a lot of legwork I have to do to get the bills ready. I have to literally go through each bill and manipulate it. And then my proposed due date is Friday, October 27th. We have to give 30 days, so it's a little bit over.
October 27th?
That's about 45-ish days in that ballpark. I know that towns are due November 9th, so it puts us,
Oh, there's 45 days after you set the tax rate?
I know after I mail them, September 8th.
Right, yes, the due date. Yeah.
Yep, you have to do a minimum of 30 days. So this gives a little bit extra time.
Sounds good to me.
It is what it is.
Okay. I will hear a motion to set the tax rate of 0.7533 for the year 2023 and have the due date October 27th, 2023.
Move.
Eli with the first, Leonard with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, nay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You won't say that when you get your tax bill?
It's fine.
Hey, we gotta pay to play, you know.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, manager's report.
So West Berkshire water line is complete and is all in and usually went fairly smooth and no issues. Bids for Maple Park are due the 29th. So the goal by mid-October, Maple Park will be completed in part of Church Street.
Nice.
That'll be nice.
Yep. And we talked about already, Dickinson crosswalk is all dug out and the forms are in and pending anything out there in the world, you should have it poured tomorrow and completed tomorrow and it just needs to dry. And we talked, we're probably just gonna put the signs in this year and then next spring we'll set out the flower pots and the ballards.
Yeah, we want to take them out in a couple months.
Yeah. And it's
Put 'em out.
total
Take 'em
waste
out.
of money to put them in now, stick mums in them like St. Albans does, wait for them to freeze and then throw them away.
So we're just
Next
gonna,
year, if we have the money, fine, that'll look great, but I don't think we need to do it now.
yeah, so the bump out will be next year, but the crosswalk will be in and the signs will be up, painted and
Good.
And that'll be the flashing ones.
I had the most pleasant experience this afternoon. 2 bicyclists were coming up the trail and they crossed right there by, where everybody crosses. They didn't use the button. 2 ladies. They got across the street and I said, ooh, ladies, the next time, make sure that you push that button because it's a lighted crosswalk and it'll be much safer for you. And this one lady turns around, looks at the signs. Oh, well, I can't wait to go home and tell my husband. He's the head of the rail trail. Well, he's just really going to be excited. I said, okay, glad you got to find out today.
Well, that's all I have.
Well, thank you, John.
Thank you.
I got a quick other business.
So,
Glad we got our crosswalks painted, but they look terrible. They're awful.
they're done.
Yeah.
They're just
well,
gonna wear off this winter anyway.
Right. Well, maybe next year we should look into finding somebody else or something. 'Cause that's
They are kind of,
they're not square.
Sparse.
They're
the paint's already, yep.
trapezoids. Like it's not.
They did crank them out. I mean, it's usually a day and a half, 2 days. But we already have a game plan for next year. We're already on his list for the beginning of May, or end of May, middle of May, somewhere in there.
Have you seen Burlington's new green ones?
How are they allowed to have green ones?
They're,
We have semi.
this part of the center of the crosswalk is like a huge green rectangle.
Yeah.
And then there's a white stripe on either side. And they're on every crosswalk and all the spots, like where the buses park and all that sort of thing. They look really, really nice.
I just don't think it would hurt to get somebody else to look at them.
Yeah, there's
Get a
You
second
always
row,
stay with
maybe.
the same guy, and sometimes they get too comfortable. And
right. Yeah, shop around.
that's all I had.
I agree with you, Eli. I've stood on a couple of them and go, what the hell?
I just dragged down. Ooh.
Yeah. Any other business? there's no other business, move here, bleh. Try it again.
Yeah, let's move to,
I will hear a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing negotiations in which premature public knowledge may compromise the position of the municipality.
Move to executive.
second.
Sandy with the first, Eli with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. All right, we're in executive.